I also have a friend here with me who's going to discuss an incident that she was part of. All right? So you can go ahead and start up that video then.
Breathe, come on, breathe, come on. Riley, what did you do? Oh my God, Lena? Oh my God.
Lena, please wake up.
What happened? Someone get help! Somebody help me! Stop! Tyler! Johnny!
Were you driving?
Riley, what did you do? Look what you did!
My fault, okay?
It is your... Someone call 911. Who was driving, Riley?
It was an accident, I swear.
You were the one who's driving. This is your fault.
911 emergency.
Hi, there's been an awful accident on Antonio in Wasapaz. Please hurry.
How many people are injured, and are any of them trapped?
I don't know. I think some of my friends are dead. I think there's about 6 people.
Okay, I'm going to be sending the fire department to you right now. Please try to keep everyone calm and do not move anyone.
Okay.
He's dead?
He's passed away.
I've got a weak
She's unconscious, but she
carotid
has a
pulse.
carotid pulse.
Somebody help. You want to go ahead and make her patient number 1?
Okay.
And I'll set up MedCom, and I'll get one of the medics on point. Mission base, we're at scene here at a 2-victim TC. One of them is a rollover near the intersection of Alice de Paz and Antonio Parkway. Our patient number 1, she was ejected from a vehicle. The other person in that car was also ejected and is dead at the scene. Are you going to be able to take some critical traumas for us?
I get what you did! You can't do this! You can't! No, I want to think about my friend! Just breathe! Just breathe! You'll be okay!
Hang in there, Francesca. All right, hang in there. Hey, you responding at all? Hello? Let's update our blood pressure, find out where we're at. I'm gonna reassess her here. That's a pretty big wound on the top of her head there. It looks like she's bleeding off the back of her head too. She's got some pretty significant head trauma. This isn't good.
Please tell me he's okay. How did this happen? I just saw their kids. They weren't gonna drink. They were just at our house for pictures.
Justin, I'm not feeling a pulse at all. Let's start CPR.
Tyler! Tyler! He's not talking to me. Why is he still in the car?
Medic 45 and we're out to your facility with a 17-year-old critical trauma patient. Looks like she was involved in an alcohol-related incident. She was ejected from the vehicle. She has critical trauma and we've got a significant head injury, and we've started CPR at this point. We have intubated the patient. We'll be at your facility in about 5 minutes.
Tyler, stay awake, please!
Did deteriorate on the way in. We've been doing CPR for about 10 minutes now. Trying to let her pulseless, and she's not breathing.
Shaver. I'm one of the trauma surgeons here at Mission Hospital. I'm so sorry. It was a really bad accident, and unfortunately, your daughter didn't make it.
Okay. Fortunately, all that is that's a mock DUI crash. All right, nobody got hurt there. I'm going to give you some, with prom coming up this week, I'm going to give you some new regulated laws in Illinois and some facts and some information. I've worked several DUI crashes in the last 13 years, and that's pretty accurate. It's really accurate. And you guys, I'm going to go through this DUI information, not to scare you or anything. Some penalties and fines. It's not a threat. It's the truth. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. Okay. But quick explanation of the process. What I'm going to focus on with you guys is zero tolerance. Everybody here is under 21, so there is no .08 with you guys. All right. .08 in Illinois is legally DUI. Which that's not even the case. If I stop an adult and they're .04 or .05, as long as I can articulate impairment, they're still DUI, okay? Now, for you guys, it's .000. You're not to have any alcohol in your system, being a minor, okay? Driver under the age of 21 can face 2 years driver's license revoked for a first DUI conviction. With a zero tolerance, your first offense is a suspension of driving privileges for 3 months. All right. A second offense, if you're unfortunate to have a second offense, you're looking for a suspension for 1 year. All right. Being stopped at a roadside safety check, or in addition to a zero tolerance, all I have to have is a minor traffic offense to stop you. You forget to use your turn signal, you bump into the center lane, you roll through a stop sign. It's all I need, minor traffic offense, and I can proceed with what's recognized as a zero tolerance by the state of Illinois. If I smell odor of an alcoholic beverage emitting from the vehicle, emitting from somebody within the vehicle, I get to proceed with the zero tolerance, okay? Now, I know you guys know what I'm sure you've seen, well, you saw the kid on the film there, and I'm sure you've seen it on TV, and everybody's talked about it, is a PBT, a portable breathalyzer, a little machine that you blow into so that it reads to me what your breath alcohol content is. And a lot of people think, well, I'm just going to refuse, I don't have to do it, therefore there's no more process. That's not the case. Again, all I have to do is articulate that I smell an odor of alcoholic beverage emitting from your breath, glassy eyes, impairment in your being stable and walking, then you get charged with a zero tolerance, okay? After being charged with on top of that, your possession of alcohol under 21, you violate a Liquor Control Act for the illegal purchase, possession, receipt, or consumption of alcohol, and your driving privileges get suspended for an additional 6 months. So under the possession of being under 21 and being charged with the zero tolerance, you're looking at minimum 9 months suspension, all right? Just some quick costs, all right? If you're convicted of a DUI or a zero tolerance, you get placed into a high-risk insurance for minimum 3 years. It's going to cost you $4,500, all right? And uncontested legal fees, which means you do hire a lawyer, you go to court, you don't really try to argue your way out of it, you just roll with it because you admit that what you did was wrong, but you're not trying to plead any innocence. Another $2,000. Court costs on top of that would be a fine of $2,500. Reimbursement to law enforcement for towing fees, $250. That's really not accurate either. Alton PD, I know people that have paid $900 just to get their car out of the impound, all right? maybe you can't go to work and you're missing some income loss. Rehabilitation, because the judge during this process, he will sentence you to, lack of a better term, alcohol classes. It's a form of alcohol rehabilitation, but that's going to be $250. To get your driver's license reinstated, you're looking at $580. You have to have a BAID device now installed in your vehicle. A BAID device, again, is almost like a little portable breathalyzer. It hooks into the ignition of your vehicle. You have to blow in it every time before you turn that key over and your car starts, all right? That alone, $1,500. All in all, because you made the choice to drink underage and get behind the wheel, and this isn't even just behind the wheel, this is getting caught at underage parties now in Illinois. Getting caught at showing up to school functions under the influence, all right? State of Illinois now will go through all of these driver's suspensions, even if it's not vehicle related. But you're looking at almost a $20,000 cost if you get caught with this. And that's not to mention, did you get in a crash? All right, did you total out your vehicle? Are you in the hospital now because you hurt yourself? Are your friends in the hospital because you hurt them? You crossed over the center line, you hit an oncoming vehicle. Did you hurt those people? Did you total their vehicle? Have you killed someone? Now you're looking at vehicular manslaughter, okay? Your $20,000 fine was the least of your worries, all right? You're looking at 10, 20 years incarceration. Now, again, like I said, that was a mock crash, but Casey is a personal friend of mine. She's not somebody who we just did some research on and tried to get her here off the internet or anything like that. And Casey's gonna tell you a story about an alcohol-related incident that she was in, where she was struck by a drunk driver.
Hi guys, my name is Casey Auburn. I'm 26 years old, and about 5 years ago, it will be 5 years on May 24th this year. That video that you saw, that was my life. I'll just take you through that day of what happened. It started out with, it was Memorial Day weekend, and my friends and I decided that we were going to party it up. And we decided that we were going to go out on the lake that day. My friend has a boat, so we all went on the boat, had a great time, and then later that night we went back to his clubhouse and we continued to party. My friend Crystal met us there later. She had to work that night, so she came out there later. She was completely sober, and my friends and I decided that we wanted to go to a couple local bars around the area. So Crystal offered to drive us and be our DD that night. So we thought we were, golden. We weren't doing anything wrong. We had a DD, and we were being smart. So we headed out to the bars and continued to drink and have a blast. It was me and 7 of my friends. So it was Crystal, which was our DD. It was my friend Elisha, my boyfriend Justin, my friend Derek, Blake, and John. And we all piled in Elisha's mom's Cadillac Escalade. That's at 7. So we go to the bars, having a blast, and we decide that we want to meet back up with the rest of our friends that decided to stay at the clubhouse that night. So after the last bar, we headed back that way. It was about midnight, and we were driving along, cruising, having a great time. 1 minute I'm sitting there looking at my boyfriend, laughing, having just the best absolute time that I've had in a while. And we were all 21. We all just turned 21 that year, so we were living it up. And 1 minute I'm sitting there laughing with him, and the next clue what just happened. I wake up to my friend Elisha screaming everyone's name, and nobody's answering. It was complete silence. After a minute, I muscled my way up to lay across the 2 pilot seats, and that's whenever I realized that my boyfriend was no longer sitting there. He was nowhere to be found. I looked everywhere, I couldn't find him in the vehicle. My friend Blake was hunched over the seat, making this awful noise. He was unconscious. He was breathing barely. My friend Crystal, who was the DD, she was also unconscious in the driver's seat and making an awful noise, barely breathing. My friend Derek was also nowhere to be found in the vehicle. And John was awake. I heard him scream out his name to Elisha and tell her that, he was fine. She asked where everyone else was, and he said he wasn't sure. The next thing I remember is one of the cops coming up to Elisha's window telling her that they had to take Crystal first because she's in such critical condition. Now, hearing the sounds that she was making, Blake was making the exact same sounds. So I knew that if she was in critical condition, he wasn't much better. So I grabbed his hand and I held it. I held his hand and I tried saying his name, trying to wake him up. And there was no response. I held his hand until they cut me out with the jaws of life. Next thing, I am being put into the ambulance and brought on my way to the hospital, and I was asking the paramedic what happened, if all my friends were okay, what was going on, and he wouldn't give me any answers. After that, everything was blurry. I don't remember getting to the hospital. I don't remember. I broke my back and my neck and my foot. I was very lucky that I wasn't paralyzed. I don't remember surgery or anything. I just remember the next thing was I woke up and my sisters and my parents and my boyfriend's parents came in my hospital room. And just the look on their faces, I knew I was about ready to get the most devastating news of my life. My sister walked up to my bedside and she grabbed my hand. And I asked her if she could kind of tell me what happened, because I had no idea. She told me I was in an accident, that a drunk driver ran a stop sign, hitting us, which sent our vehicle into the ditch, and when we hit the embankment, we flipped 3 times. She told me of all my injuries, and then she told me that my friend John was at Barnes. I was at SLU. He was at Barnes, and he shattered both his hips. She told me Elisha was fine, and she told me Crystal was in a coma. And then she told me that Blake and Derek, that Blake died whenever they pulled him out of the vehicle. He took his last breath on the stretcher. And that Derek was thrown from the vehicle, as well as my boyfriend Justin. Derek later, his parents had to pull him off life support at the hospital because he was brain dead. And my boyfriend Justin died on impact. My friend Crystal was in a coma for 3 months. She had extensive brain injury. Her whole right side was paralyzed. She had about 2 or 3 strokes in those 3 months. She had to learn how to walk and talk and everything all over again. And when she woke up, she had no recollection of the last 3 months. She thought it was still, the last thing she remembered was being at the clubhouse and everything, so she thought it was still May. When we told her, or when her family told her of Blake, Derek, and Justin, she had no idea who they were because her brain injury was that bad. It was just horrible. She was about a month away from graduating college, and she graduated last year, but you know, it took her that long because she was in rehab for a while. But my message to you guys is that even if you think you're being safe and you have a DD and everything, it's not just you have to worry about. You have to worry about everyone else that's on the road. And I know probably being in high school, I thought the same thing, that you think you're invincible and nothing bad can happen to you. Well, I'm living proof that it can. So just be safe, and not just this weekend because of prom, like every day. If you guys, you know, after you turn 21 and everything, if you guys decide to drink, just do not get in a car. And do not get in a car with anybody who has been drinking. Because you do not want to go through what I went through. It was the worst experience of my life, and I had to live with it and think about it every day. So be safe, guys. Thanks.
Okay, again, with prom being this weekend, the Madison County Sheriff's Office, they have teamed up with Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Typically on a routine patrol, they have 2-3 cars at most dedicated to the Godfrey area. There's going to be 10 cars that night, okay? Their primary assignment is DUI enforcement. It's not a threat, okay? They're keeping an eye open for you guys to have a good night, but at the same time, they're also keeping an eye open for you guys to do the right thing, okay? Alton's doing the same thing. So expect the intense police patrol. They're there for your safety as well. Expect roadside safety checks, and you guys just need to use your brain, all right? That's all.
Okay, guys, let's give a round of applause to Miss Casey Atmer for coming today and speaking with you. I'm sure that that's very difficult to share that story with you, but it's very important. You are not invincible. We are here today to help keep you safe. You have to think before you get in a car, before you go to that party. What you do after prom is very, very important, and you have to be smart about this. You do not want to be sitting in the position that Ms. Atmer is sitting in, and you especially don't want to be in the position of the person that hit her. That was a very costly experience for that person. That was 20 years of their life that they're going to sit in jail. So today was really meant to keep you safe. It wasn't to scare you. The roadblocks are there to keep you safe. You need to remember that they're there. You need to stay off the road, and you need to not drink until you are 21, and then you need to be safe at that time as well.